Coming up on today's Quays News.
Student nurses get a feel for real-life situations.
David is here to review the film Chappie.
And Joey will be here with all the latest sport, including FC United of Manchester's top-of-the-table clash with Ilkeston.
Good afternoon and welcome to Quays News. I'm Alex Varley.
And I'm Abigail Withy.
Our top story today, a woman has been seriously injured in a fire which broke out in Salford. Emergency services were called out to Manor Road near Buell Hill High School earlier this morning.
It is reported that a woman in her 60s was taken to Salford Royal Hospital, and a spokeswoman for the North West Ambulance has said that they were scrambled at the scene.
A woman has been arrested after making several hoax phone calls to the emergency services. Police were called out to what was reported to be a brawl on Brazen Street, a stabbing on Albert Square and 7 other bogus claims.
All reports were made between 7:52 p.m. on Wednesday night and 12:37 a.m. the following morning. When police investigated the claims, all were found to be false.
A man has now been charged after a hit and run which left a pedestrian fighting for his life.
Mr Hussein, who is from the Longsight area, has been charged with failing to provide a sample, driving while disqualified and failing to stop at the scene of the collision. The pedestrian remains in a critical condition at Salford Royal Hospital.
Legal and General Capital, who are major investors in infrastructure and real estate, have bought out half of Media City UK, originally owned by the Peel Group. Kate Troy joins us from Media City.
The Peel Group has sold 50% of its stake here in Media City to Legal and General Capital, who on Tuesday became joint shareholders in the Salford Quays property. The purpose-built creative digital and technology park includes anchor tenants such as the BBC, ITV and Salford University. As part of the deal, Peel will retain responsible for the ongoing development and asset management of the 1.6 million square foot site here in Media City, UK.
Did you ever think of becoming a nurse or a doctor?
To be honest, I'm not really sure it's for me.
Well, the University of Salford has become the first higher education institution in the Northwest to be given an accreditation of the Centre of Excellence for Base Simulation Education. This means students who are part of the medical course at the university and use the simulation wards get a feel for some scenarios that could happen in the real world.
Yes, mannequins or dummies act as real patients who can develop anything from the common cold to a heart attack. Siobhan Maguire went to see just how real the situation can get.
If no pulse, start CPR.
There's no pulse. Start CPR.
OK, no need to panic. You haven't accidentally tuned into an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Either you get tired, just feel free to swap over and take over from each other. It can be quite strenuous to do CPR.
This simulation ward at the University of Salford is being used to help students practice skills they may use in real-life scenarios.
No, I think it is really helpful because, you know, scenarios like that, they don't, unless you're in A&E or something, they don't come up that often. And so if you've had all your placements on a ward and then you're suddenly confronted with CPR, having had simulation like this, you know, you feel like you know what's coming, what's going to happen.
It can be scary, but like in practice, you always have someone who manages the situation and delegates roles out to everybody else. So in a situation like this, your mentor or whoever's looking after you will say to you, you do this, that's your role. So you know what you're doing, you're never like stuck on your own and don't really know what to do.
Facilitators use a control room and a one-way screen to take on the persona of the patient in the ward. Today, Neil has been suffering heart pain.
Occasional breathlessness, just not well, and my wife's been getting more and more worried. Quite sharp, yeah, it is, in my chest, and in my arm. Oh.
The university is the first higher education institution to be accredited as a centre of excellence in simulation-based education.
They are fairly costly, but they are an investment to the university because they are an excellent teaching and learning resource for students, for qualified staff, for healthcare professions. It's an absolute long-term investment, and it is very much the agenda of higher education institution and NHS trusts that simulated practice is a safe way for students, practitioners, healthcare professionals to learn, to develop, but in this safe environment.
Outside the actual simulation ward, there's also a mocked up flat here in the university. There's the living area, we've got a bathroom, kitchen and a bedroom. And this actually teaches the students about their social care skills and how to carry out patient visits. And you can see here that they've actually got a bedroom all set up for a particular patient.
Okay.
Back in the ward though, Neil is talking again, thanks to Mike and the nurses.
Thank you. We've got the doctor coming down in the night.
Let's hope he makes a full recovery. This is Siobhan Maguire, Quays TV News.
But what I need to do in the meantime now is just have a rest.
Now for a look at today's front pages with Inzi. So we'll start off with the Manchester Evening News.
Yeah, so the MEN has got a story about the father of 17-year-old Joe Lawton, and he's actually said that his son, who shot himself after being arrested for drink driving, he said that his son would never actually mean any harm. He was the perfect son, and that he never disappointed his parents. The MEN also puts on their front page about welcoming the 20-mile-per-hour zone into Manchester city centre, where £500,000 has actually been approved by the TFGM, which could lead around 46% of the city's roads being covered by the 20-mile-per-hour limit.
And now just very quickly about the Sun, we've got Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah, of course. Jeremy Clarkson on the Sun, as he would be on most papers today, with his infamous sarcastic face. He's obviously talking about the fact that he's been cut off and suspended from the BBC.
Thank you, Inzi.
And now David is here in the studio with his review of Chappie.
new kind of life form, or new step in evolution.
So, David, the film Chappie, how did you find it and what's the storyline behind it?
Well, Chappie is a film set in the near future. I think it's only 2016, where an army of sort of drone robots have been commissioned by the South African police to sort of fight crime, and they've been designed by Dev Patel, who works for this weapons company. What he really wants to do is create artificial intelligence, and after sort of an energy drink montage, he does that. But just as he's created it, he's ambushed by some criminals, and they sort of take the robot from him and they sort of raise him as their own. So it's sort of a nature versus nurture thing in essence.
And the actors in it, Hugh Jackman normally plays the good guy, this time playing the bad guy. What are you thinking to that?
Yeah, he does an all right job in it. He's clearly having a bit of fun, but I think he's the film's weakest element. It's sort of very generic villain territory. He's sort of the big baddie with his big bad robot, and it lowers the film a bit.
Thank you very much. And now, Shock Radio presenters Joe and Miller are stepping up this year and gracing Media City UK with 12 hours of non-stop karaoke. From 9 a.m. until 9 p.m, the boys will be inviting as many people as possible into Studio A at the University of Salford to sing and donate comic relief.
My name's Harry Hardy and I'm the producer, one of the producers for the first section of Joe and Miller's karaoke marathon. They go on for 12 hours and I don't know whose idea it was, but one of them asked me to do it, and it's just the most craziest thing I've ever been involved at the uni.
How much are they hoping to raise?
They're hoping to raise about £250 for comic relief. I think they're about halfway there actually at the minute, so that's good. We've got people with buckets going around. They've got a Just Giving page set up, so they're doing very well. I think they're on their way. Right.
And best of luck to Joe and Miller. Now here's Joe with all of the latest sport in Greater Manchester. Joey?
Best of luck to Joe and Miller. Yeah, well done. Now on to sport. Starting with football, and FC United of Manchester. They went top of the league last week and were looking to maintain their place at the summit against promotion rivals Ilkeston. Ben Hobson was there.
It was first against fourth as FC United had the chance to extend their lead at the top of the table. They got off to a flying start as a bizarre penalty was awarded for an apparent elbow on FC's Greg Daniels.
That's a good ball.
A brilliantly worked equaliser saw Williams fire home past Carnell. A very nice finish when he was denied earlier with a similar effort.
What a goal.
Left-back James Reed then slotted a well-worked free kick to Carnell's right, putting Ilkeston in the lead.
You knew that was coming. We did. I knew what they were doing there.
Definitely.
3 of them stood over that free kick.
Make the keeper work, really.
The inevitable came 5 minutes from time, as super sub Tom Greaves netted his 23rd goal of the season to rescue a point for FC United. Yeah! The win leaves FC 4 points clear at the top of the league. Ben Hobson, Quays TV News.
And we're reaching the business end of the season now, and it's another big weekend of games for our non-league sides. In the conference, Altrincham host Wrexham. In the Conference North, playoff chasing Stockport travel to Lowestoft. In the Northern Premier League, leaders FC United are away to Hales Owen, and in the First Division North, Salford City travel to New Mills. And finally, a big congratulations to the University of Salford's men's football team. They won 3-0 away to Edge Hill yesterday, securing the First Division title for the first time in 12 years. That's all for the sport today. Now over to Ryan Gerard with the weather.
After having a fairly bright start to the day, rain is likely to spread in from the west this afternoon and into the evening, being rather heavy in places. There will be some moderate southeasterly winds of around 13 miles per hour that will gradually decrease and head up to the north later on tonight. The rain will spread to the east but will persist in many areas and temperatures will remain rather chilly. That's all from me, Ryan Gerard, with your local weather. Back to the studio.
Yes, and that's all we have time for today. Join us again next Tuesday for all the latest news and sport.
Remember, you can follow us on Twitter @KNews and on Facebook by simply logging in to www.keysnews.net.
From all of us here from all the team here at Quays News, bye-bye.
Bye.